And 3, 2.
A little slower than that.
It says we are.
Okay, perfect.
We are? Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to this special meeting of the Mahone Bay Town Council. In spite of the fact that we plan to have no meetings in August, we managed to squeeze the tree and get enough councilors here for a quorum for this special meeting. Welcome to the people at home who are joining us for this first portion of the meeting. That will be for a discussion on the solar garden. It's an update of the solar garden project. And then we will go in camera for 2 items. One is on subject to the MGA 22-2E contract negotiations and 22-2F litigation or potential litigation. So we'll begin by acknowledging that we are gathered today in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral, present, and future territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This morning we gather with the intent followed by the living peace and friendship treaties, and we do so with respect, cooperation, and coexistence. Council, you have an agenda that was emailed to you. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Thank you, Councillor Feeney, seconded by Councillor Carver. Thank you. We do have quorum. All in favor? The motion is carried. Let's go right to item number 2, the community solar garden update. Lenta, if you please.
Good morning. Thank you, Your Worship. Thanks for the opportunity to give you our first monthly update on the construction and progress that we're making on the Mahone Bay Community Solar Gardens. In the last month, we've had a number of activities that have taken place. We did a final nest sweep to make sure no chicks were in nests, no nests were active, and some tree clearing happened. So all the tree clearing are now completed on the site. All the vegetation has been removed. It was quite a big job, and most of the civil work has also been completed. That means that the site has been grubbed. Stormwater management features have been installed. Again, that is something that is a living, breathing project, and we'll monitor as things progress. We are looking at, we had a significant rainstorm a little while ago. Everything worked well. There was minor tweaks that we needed to make there, but it remains something that we are focused on and will continue to monitor. The full silt fence has been installed on the perimeter of the property. That is containing all anything that can move while we are busy with construction. That will stay in place, that will remain in place until the site settles down. So that will remain in place for a number of months. You'll see the silt fence up. It will contain anything that can shift during the pile installation, which I'll talk about in a second. But yes, grading for the cut and fill has been completed. Culverts have been installed. So all of the civil work has been done. And as for drawings for the civil side of the project has been issued. That means that we've done new topo. We've made sure that everything that we know is on site has been marked, and that is reflected on the drawings that we have currently. Happy to also report that there are no injuries on site. We'll make sure that nothing, well, to the best of our ability, that nothing goes wrong, but that is also part of the monthly report. You'll see if there's any near misses, anything that happens on site. So as for the upcoming activities, now that the fence line has been stalked out. The fence the fence should start today. I haven't been on site today, but that is scheduled for today. That fence will be installed around the perimeter of the property, and the gate will be installed. That will give us full site control in order to minimize any, unauthorized or surprise visitors on site. And that could be someone just driving up, taking the wrong turn, anything like that. But it is a safety concern for us to make sure that we know who's on site at all times. People are wearing PPE, and they are known to people that is working on the site. There has been some big equipment on site. That is going to slow down now because most of that work is done, but the fence should go up this week. That's good. Maybe I'll just pause there before I move on to what to expect next. Are there any questions?
Did you say that the water control system is all in place pretty much?
Yes,
Did it work?
yes. We had one section that we went back to and installed some extra geotextile. I would get it geotextile installed there just to slow things down even more. But it's worked well. And if there is time, I would like to show you what it looks like from an aerial view just now. And you can see the swell running across that site. And then you'll also see how the panels will follow that line.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just one question, once about the appreciated the drone shot in the front of the presentation. I understand that in that photograph, that some of that property is the adjacent next door neighbors, and the trees that we see kind of removed are actually at those neighbors' request. Like that wasn't something that we were necessarily part of, although the same contractor did some work on their behalf. So when we're looking at that aerial shot, the photograph, the trees that are removed from the adjacent owners, that's their project, completely mutually exclusive from the Solar Garden initiative.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Any other questions?
So I just have a question comment about the monthly report, because this is great to see as a regular thing. So most of the time, I would think that probably isn't going to be delivered with an in-person update. Is that your expectation to be available if we need you for a special meeting like today? But
Absolutely.
to provide the report, we'll just put it on a regular council meeting package. And it'll be available for the public to review those as we go.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So it's a public report, but I'm always available to answer questions and always love to come to Mountain Bay. So if needed, I will be here.
That's great. Yeah, no, I just, we've got viewers here possibly, and now they can expect that in September, and I'm not sure, it'll probably be the second meeting in September, I would assume. We'll probably have another report on that agenda, and it'll be in the package for anybody who's interested.
What will we see happen now?
So what's coming up, exciting things that's coming up is our solar modules and inverters will be delivered to site. Once the fence is up and the site is secured, those modules and inverters will be stored on the site. And the next big thing that will arrive will be the steel piles or the foundation section. So that is a major component that will be delivered. That is, if you look on the report, I've given some timelines on there. Foundation delivery in like mid-September, and installation will happen thereafter. Just a note on that, these guys have been installing, our general contractor, they've been installing all over Alberta, and they chase each other. So they have small little competitions on site to see, to chase the lines in order to install that quickly. We don't expect, it is going to be a major installation, of course, so there will be some noise generated. We will do that as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible. So that you'll see next is the foundation and racking being delivered, and then the installation of that to take place.
Okay. We're good. Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate your report, and we look forward to the one in September.
Very exciting. Thank you.
Okay. That ends the open discussion for this particular special meeting. We will now entertain a motion to go in camera. Moved by Councillor Wilson. We have a seconder, Councillor Feeney. And I would just remind the folks at home before you leave us that the capacity for council to go in camera is very strictly controlled under the Municipal Government Act. And we typically have some very diligent councillors at the table who in no uncertain terms remind us when we stray from the topic at hand that caused us to go in camera. We do not make any motions in camera. We have to come out of an in-camera session back to full council session in order to make any motions. So for the folks that are watching us at home, we don't decide things in these in-camera sessions. Councillor Carver.
With that in mind, I'd just like to suggest an amendment to the motion to go into camera. And with a specific reference to the reasons for going in camera, which are under the MGA as permitted for contract negotiations and litigation and potential litigation. With apologies that my visual seems to have disappeared somehow.
Okay. So we're going to add the 22(2)E and the 22(EF) notation to the motion. So it is specific as to why. Okay. All in favor? The motion is carried. We'll thank the people at home who took the time to join us this morning at 9 o'clock. And the deputy CAO will